I am so excited to be here. I'm Katie Burke. I'm broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee. We got Nashville, Memphis, everybody in Tennessee representing tonight. I'm so excited to present this show to you. We are actually also obviously presented by Memphis Music Bank organization with the On Location Memphis organization, as well as the Tennessee Entertainment Commission. So excited to bring you some amazing film and some amazing music tonight and watch our two composers go head to head for the winning place for our judges. So you're going to have some audience participation tonight. So get out your smartphone, get your stuff together, get your hair perfect, and listen to some amazing music and watch some amazing film. So let's get into it. Let's meet our filmmaker, Israel Garcia. He's an Ecuadorian filmmaker. He actually resides in Nashville, Tennessee. He's a director, DP, and actor. He graduated at Middle Tennessee State University in the TV and film production program, owner of Bad Iguana Productions, 20 years of experience in the film industry. Beautiful guy, super talented, so excited to see his film clips tonight. He couldn't make it with us tonight, so I won't be talking to him, but you'll be able to see his work, and I'm sure it will speak for itself. So let's get to know our composers. Our first composer is Kirk Smith. So Kirk Smith, he's been in Memphis, I think, since he was like 13, something like that. He's a composer, producer, engineer. Kirk's passion is to bring an artist's vision to life at every stage in the creative process, from a project's first inception to delivering the final masters ready to share with the world. It's versatile in so many genres, from songwriter to producer, pop, hip-hop, R&B, film score. He understands not only how to craft a great song, but how to shape a production to make the song and artist shine. Gotta love that when your producer is more excited about making you look good, right? Am I right? How you doing, babe?
Hey, Katie, good to see you.
Good to see you too. How you feeling about what you presented for us tonight?
I'm really excited. You're always a little bit nervous because, you know, you're sharing your music with the world and with people, but I'm excited about it. I had a lot of fun making it. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm excited for your nervousness. I think it's going to be edgy, isn't it? I love it. Thank you for being here tonight, Kirk.
Thank you, Katie.
Yes. All right. So that was Kirk Smith. Now let's get to know our other contestant that they're going to be going head to head. We have Elijah Pugh. Elijah Pugh, also known as Eli P., is a music producer who has always had an appreciation for symphonic and orchestral music. I love that. He enjoys taking modern elements from today's trap, R&B, and hip-hop and mixing it with orchestral sounds. He enjoys almost every genre of music, which makes him very versatile when it comes to producing. You'll be sure to go on an adventure when venturing into the world of Eli P.'s music. Well, I cannot wait to go on that adventure tonight, baby. What do you have for us? Like, what is about to happen to my mind as I listen to your music?
I mean, it was, the scenes were, I mean, because everything kind of flowed, I mean, I tried to basically keep a continuous theme throughout all of the scores. But I mean, I was really nervous because it is my first scoring. So, you know.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I mean, I know Kirk is also really good, so that also made me a little bit more nervous. But
you're here for a reason, babe. I cannot wait to see you put your foot in the door with this music tonight. I'm so excited. I love the idea of the thread and all of it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Heck yeah. All right, so we've met our contestants tonight. I hope you love them. I freaking love them. I'm so excited. Let's meet our judges. First, we have Nan Puetz. So she's the president of Tennessee Women in Film and Media and vice president of Women in Film Television International, WIFTI. She's produced a number of independent documentary film projects and award-winning narrative short films. She's currently developing the feature documentary film Pray to Love and Just Plain Bobby. And in production with The Allotment and The Weight of Money, she has enjoyed many opportunities to work with national and international filmmakers that she admires. Dang, you've got a laundry list of stuff you've done, girl.
Yeah. But I've enjoyed every bit of it.
Enjoyed every bit of it. A lot of film, heard a lot of music. So what are you most looking forward to tonight?
Well, not only am I the founder director of the Franklin International Independent Film Festival in its 4th year in Franklin, so I'm always looking for great marriages of music and film, and I really believe that music oftentimes has its own character in a film, and if the music does not work with the film, you remember that. If it doesn't set the tone and the timbre. So I really like to look for those little nuances where they come together.
I love that. I love the idea that the music really can make or break a picture. That's very exciting. That's a lot of pressure on our composers tonight. Heck yeah. Thanks for being here, Nan. I cannot wait for you to see what we got tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Nan Puetz, and then now we have Shay Watson to the stage. He's a composer, songwriter. Shay Watson is a solo artist and band member, is known for his work in TV and film as a composer and songwriter. His TV and film credits include The Young and the Restless, Dance Moms, Shameless, Single Ladies, various History Channel series, as well as opening themes for Aliens Ate My Homework, Venice, the series, Vice News, American Greed, my gosh. He's also worked with multiple recording artists, including multi-platinum selling pop rock bands. Shay, how are you feeling, bud?
Hey, well, let me first say I'm very honored to be here amongst such great talent. Thanks so much for having me here.
You got it, man. What are you looking forward to seeing and hearing tonight?
I'm really just looking for a great interplay between the music and the scene, and whether the music properly moves the scene forward and complements the scene without being too obtrusive. And honestly, I'm looking forward to just hearing the creativity and learning something for myself about these guys. I always take something away when I hear other people's work, and I'm just looking forward to sharing the creativity here.
That's beautiful. I love that you're never done learning and listening. That is probably one of the most important things in this industry, right? Is to always be expanding and learning and not competing, but like absorbing all the different ways that creativity comes out of other people. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Shay. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So now that we've met everybody who's going to be involved, we have our contestants, we have our judges. Let's talk about how this is going to go down. So first, we have the filmmaker that has provided 4 clips for the competition. So 2 Memphis Music Bank composers have synced music to these 4 clips. The clips are divided into 3 rounds and a bonus round. So our judges are going to score for the first 3 rounds from 1 to 10 on the quality of music sync, so its ability to move with the scene. Then, does this music add value to the scene? So the first 3 rounds are going on that criteria. The 4th round is going to be voted from 1 to 10 on overall technique. So we're going to have 2 sets of voting as well. We're going to have the audience vote. You're going to vote after each round on who you think won. We're going to add that up for an audience choice. And then we're going to have the judges go away, and they're going to tally their scores for the judges' choice. So there's going to be 2 winners or someone winning both times tonight. But we got a lot of action on these 2 composers tonight. So if you want to vote, which I hope you do, if you're here for it, let's do it. Text Memphis Music 923 to 22333. So get out your phones right now and text Memphis Music 923 to 22333 and answer the question or however you got to do it to get logged into the system so that after each round you can make your vote. So you're going to vote for either A, Kirk Smith, text A to 22333 after you've seen both clips. Or you're going to text B for Elijah Pugh to 22333. So after each round, we're going to talk about what we saw, and that'll be your time to vote. So let's see here. Let's bring our judges back, and we're going to get started. Are you guys freaking ready to see this music?
Ready.
I'm so excited. All right, so this is round 1. Let's get Kirk Smith rolling. my goodness. That was so dope. I loved it. All right.
Yeah.
Enough about me. What did you guys think? Talk to me. Nan? Hey, Nan, can you go ahead now? I think you're still muted.
So sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I felt that it had some subtle qualities to it, but it picked up the momentum of the scene.
Very cool. Okay, Shay, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It felt very good to me. There was a theme that was running throughout. It was interesting. There were some interesting sounds there that weren't too distracting. I might have mixed certain elements a little bit different. There were certain things in the lower timbres of the percussion that were sticking out a little bit too much for me, but overall great. And those are things that, of course, if you're dealing with your music supervisor, you're going to work out as you go back and forth. So wonderful job.
Yeah, I liked that it had some organic kind of sounds, like the sandpaper feel and all of that. It was really, really cool textures on that. So that was everybody. Kirk Smith. That was the first clip, and now we're still in round one. Stay tuned. So let's get Elijah up on here. Amazing. I love that. I love that so much. Completely different vibe. Isn't that wild? It really like informs the scene in a completely different way. Nan, what did you think?
I liked the choice of instrumentation. I thought that was interesting. I felt like I needed to see more of the film to enjoy this particular piece more, because in this particular clip, I felt there was a little bit of overpowering of the music based on the cadence of the scene itself. That's just my opinion, but I really did. I liked it standing alone as a piece of music.
Very interesting. Thank you so much. Shay, what did you think?
Right out of the gate, it attracted my attention, and it held my attention. But however, in contrasting the two, when we got to that one element of the scene where the lady gave the look and it changed moods, there was nothing that signified any type of mood change here. It just kept. I would have liked to have felt something a little bit different there. Doesn't have to be anything big, dramatic mood change, but something that just felt a little different to me. But very beginning of the scene up through about the middle, I'm clocking in. It's feeling good.
Excellent. Nan.
Can I make one more comment? And that is because it was a silent scene without dialogue, it felt like the music started at a point where something was sort of missing. Because that music did need to carry me through, and I felt some conflict there. What did you think, Shay, as a musician? Because I am not.
One thing that I was noticing that I would have probably done is I would have added a little different elements throughout. It felt to stay about right here throughout. It was a solid track, but a couple of bars I wanted to hear something a little bit different in there. Take me somewhere different.
You know what I really liked about this clip is it made me excited to watch more of the film. It felt like I was going somewhere, and so it felt like it had momentum. And that's something that the other clip, the composer for the other, when Kirk did the other clip, it made me sit in the scene and like want to relish in the scene where it is. And this second clip made me want to like, I wonder what the heck's going to happen next. And that's just the music informing those two moods, those two vibes. I really liked both of that. So the judges are tallying their scores. Let's vote. So if you liked the first clip the most in this round, text A for Kirk Smith to 22333. Or if you like the second clip more, for Elijah Pugh, text B to 22333. So please make those selections now. This is very exciting, and your commentaries are so insightful. Thank you so much, guys. Ooh, I bet the competitors are shaking in their boots.
I'm shaking in my boots.
All right. Hi. All right, so let's get on to the second clip. Hey, Anwar, yes, let's get it. Excellent. Let's get into the second clip. That is hilarious. Yeah. What do you guys think? Talk to me. Shay, why don't you go first this time?
You know what? I loved it. I felt that the music just felt really good with that scene for me. Everything was locking in. I think it portrayed it well.
Awesome. Nan, what about you?
Yeah, I felt that the music had a definite sort of, the world around the main character had an enthusiasm because of the tempo of the music. And yet the nice thing is you could feel still the guy in his own space. So the music did not take away in any way, shape, or form from it, and in fact did help the piece move forward.
And the other thing too is the music mirrored the brightness and the colors of the scene too. I could just it felt really good together.
You know, I really liked about this was the it made me like this guy because he's very unlikable. The guy walking, everyone's like, this guy. But the made me like, oh, what's this guy thinking about? It made him likable, more likable than he would have been, because it's like, what's he doing? What an asshole being on his phone. You know what I mean?
I think it was more human. I mean, he had a human quality. You know, that made you have to care about the character in one way or another, hate them or love them. And I feel like the music helped him to evoke a human quality.
Well said. Yes. All right. So let's get to the second clip with Elijah. Excellent, excellent. All right. Talk to me, everybody. Hey, you want to go first again? Let's get it.
Sure. I think some of my comments would be the same as the first. It's a solid track throughout. Again, I would like to see when certain interactions happen amongst the characters. I would like to feel that in the music. And that's a very subjective thing. When you say that, it needs to be very subtle, like a subtle instrumentation change or something hitting in the background when the characters interact, or in this instance, one character interacts with the other and the other doesn't notice. But I would like to hear that in the music. It felt like it carried me, but again, it was just a solid meat and potatoes track throughout that I would like to hear a little bit more changes in the instrumentation, maybe a little bit more of a build, something that keeps my attention.
All right, nuance. You missed some nuance. Nan, what about you?
I agree completely, and I love the way Shay put it, which is much more professional. And I know I'm not going to be able to sound professional, but I'm nodding my head fiercely at what he's saying. I feel like it. And when I say suffers from, I don't mean it suffered at all, because I think it was a great piece of music. Again, it's a good piece of music, but it was one of those I felt it wasn't quite the right piece for the scene. Because again, I felt there needed to be, even if it wasn't more instrumentation, which you're right, I think you're right about that. I was thinking to myself, watching it, I wish there was even just a pause in the music.
Yeah.
So we have a beat that could be there. But I don't know how to say it musically. So yes, I completely agree.
Like I noticed that when the lady was standing there and the man was still on his cell phone, where his bars lined up would have been a perfect place for just to
Yes.
Start back up when he starts walking. Those are the little subtle things that I'm talking about.
And in a script, we'd call that a beat. Is that what they would call that in music too? You know what I mean? Where it needs that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
This is terrific feedback. That is awesome feedback. So specific. Thank you so much.
It was a neat piece of music.
Heck yeah, absolutely. So let's get to the voting for this round. So we have Kirk Smith for that first clip with the doo-doo-doots. That's text A to 22333. A to 22333 for Kirk Smith. If you want to vote for the second clip, the triumphant kind of instrumental from Elijah, we have text B to 22333. We are in round 2. Text B to 22333 for Elijah. So I'll just give everybody a minute to get their votes in, to think a little bit. How are you guys feeling?
I think that's just wonderful to give a filmmaker the chance to get a couple of different feels. When you're filming and you shoot something and then you do a reverse. This is almost like watching that, where and I believe that filmmakers should always try to work with original music as opposed to top 40 or this or that. And it just makes such a difference. So what a thrill for Israel to have this opportunity.
Yeah, and that's what Memphis Music Bank is all about, connecting filmmakers and composers in Tennessee. And that's what Memphis Music Bank, that's On Location Memphis, that is the heart of what we're doing here. So that is exactly it.
Way back when I started.
These guys are very, very quality. What we're hearing here, both of them are providing a lot of quality. I mean, we're zeroing in on things that we would have perhaps done differently, but man, I love what I'm hearing.
Excellent. Well, let's get on. Let's hear some more, baby. Let's go to round 3. Let's get it. Let's get Kirk. Oh my gosh, so good. Just want to make a quick note that Israel is not only the director, well, he didn't direct this, but I think he wrote the film, and he was also acting in it. So that is our filmmaker is acting in this as well. What did you guys think of this clip?
Oh, great job. I loved it. And, you know, I thought the music was a very good match on that one. I loved his builds. I loved the hits. Yeah.
Right on. Nan?
Yes, and however, I would have liked to see a couple of bars from number one of Kirk's in this. So I would have liked to see the very opening going up the stairs from one put onto this music right now. Now, is that something that you can understand what I'm thinking?
You want to create some kind of echo of that first space that he created musically and mesh that onto what we just saw at the top of it?
Yeah. I think I love this music, but I'd like to see those opening frames with the opening with that first bit of music that was created.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the one criticism that I would give is the build felt really good after the cake hit in the face. We felt that build, but it did reach that one point to where I was wondering, am I feeling this build too long?
Yeah.
Should something else happen here, especially when there were the freeze of the faces? That was something that I would have asked myself if I were composing for the scene, and maybe tried out a few different things there.
Yep.
But overall, great.
And
great.
so that poses a really good point, I think, is that when you're composing for film, is that sometimes you go to, the editor and you're like, hey, this amount of time for a build, how do I work with this build when film, picture,
Absolutely.
it might be too long. How do I compose to create build and then climax when it's not on camera? How do I make that happen? So that relationship between the two is a really interesting point.
Correct.
So let's get to Elijah's clip for number 3. Oh, I loved that ending that just dun. That was what a great rich ending. I loved it. What'd you guys think?
What I liked about this one was his tempo changes. For one, we started pretty steady like we'd heard in the past, and then there was that subtle change of the tempo. Wasn't too obtrusive, but you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
His build, I didn't feel that went on too long. That was a perfect build with the change of the instrumentations that he did after the cake hit. Now, what I would have done, though, is right on that cake hit, I would have probably had something a little more solid that said boom. Maybe not too harsh, but just even a stop in the music before the build hit. But after it went into that build, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And another thing that I would have questioned, I did like how he took a change that you can go two different ways on that ending. You can go, he went kind of a dark way with that. I heard subtle little things there, a little anxiety. But you could have also went against the grain of the scene after the build and hit a humorous end to it as he's walking out. Like, okay, well, just hit her. Here we go. You know, it
is what it is. He could have done it. It is what it is.
Yeah. Great
Man,
job.
what did you think?
I really liked it, and it felt like he was secretly listening to the comments we'd made earlier, which I know he already had taped this clip, but I'm saying it was almost like he had some thoughts going through his head, and it all clicked. And I think that he was able to achieve what we were talking about earlier. And again, I really, now that Shay says, I would like the way Shay said, showing that alternate ending, that potential for a little more whatever at the end than we saw. But I wouldn't have necessarily thought about that because I was right there caught up, and I'm so glad that he got it, you know. So
exactly.
good job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Great.
Both of them.
I love the build. I love that both of you are touching on the amount of like pressure and responsibility that composers have to create a toss at the end of a scene to where are we going next story-wise. And so you can create humor on your way out or drama on your way out or a million other things. But
As
it's
a
interesting
lead-in
the
to
responsibility
whatever
of the composer
As a lead-in,
is so high.
that lead into whatever happens next.
Exactly. Very cool. Excellent. So let's vote. Thank you so much, guys. Let's take a vote on this stuff. A for Kirk, if you liked that first clip the most, it really got you going. Text A to 22333. That's for Kirk Smith. Or if you like the second clip a little bit more, you got Elijah Pugh. Text B to 22333. This is our third round here at the Memphis Music Bank Mixer Competition, and it's getting hot. I don't know which way it's gonna go. I'm just really enjoying the differences and, like, you know, the richness of both of these players tonight. I'm just loving it.
So Shay, do we go offline and discuss our votes?
We got a bonus round.
Oh,
That's what we got right now.
I see round 3 and bonus round.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully everyone has finished up their voting.
Yeah.
And we are going into round 4, our bonus round with Kirk. Oh my goodness. Let's just take note that these clips are a silent film. Like, we haven't even addressed that. Like, we're not talking about dialogue or informing moments with dialogue or like, you know, these composers are working off of absolutely nothing except picture. No script. I mean, this is pretty amazing. What did you guys think of that last one?
Loved it. I love the approach to it, the vintage feel of the music. Also instrumentation. Yeah.
Totally. Oh, I loved it. Nan, what about you?
Well, you know, as a producer, my feeling when I look at that kind of scene plus this kind of music is, my friends and I, we say that's delicious. It's almost
girl.
in its feeling.
Yes. I love it. It reminds me of those silent films where you have a lot of like, you know, like this really like funny kind of quirky music, but this felt like a very mature and very like jazzified version of quirky silent film music. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's
1960.
definitely delicious.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
delicious.
totally.
It was edible. You could chew on that, you know, and
Ooh,
I really like that.
And can we just talk about how cute Israel and that girl were? Oh my goodness!
I think that's his wife, right?
Well, it better be the way they were looking at each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's a
so
real
let's take a look
guy
at
with a
Elijah's.
talented family. Yeah.
Let's take a look at Elijah's clip now.
Yeah.
Elijah and those little buttons at the end just get me. I really loved the swell of when the two were meeting. I loved when it just felt like it was like love, you know? It was very thrilling. What did you guys think?
Go ahead, Shay.
I could have probably, I go back to some of my earlier comments. I could have used a little bit more variation at the beginning. It feels good coming right out of the gate. It's a solid track when the characters interact. I wanted to hear just a few modifications there, but once he hit the tremolo, with those strings where those two were coming together, very good. You know, I love that, and I liked the ending. Trying to think of you know a lot of this is so subjective, but again, I would have looked. What can I, and don't be afraid of also drop. We think of advancing a scene as constantly building, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you're advancing, but you're dropping out at the same time. Like, for instance, if you're going along and you're meeting a certain character, you can drop certain instruments out instead of adding instruments to give it more of a feel without losing it. It's just very small subtleties here that you want to look to where you don't distract from the scene. But I think I've had that so much pounded into me that I tend to be a minimalist when it comes to scenes in the first place. But overall, loved it.
Heck yeah, that's beautiful. Nan?
I think a couple of things. I think that Shay's right as usual, but I think that, and he doesn't pay me either, but I think what happens is that he's right. We don't know where in the film this scene occurs necessarily. So he's right. We can't have an expectation for it to rise and become anthemic or whatever. We don't know because we don't exactly know where it is. So we have to judge this on this scene and this piece. First thing I have to say is I think it's remarkable that Elijah has come up with some really close pieces in his first composition.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really shocking to me that he's so close without all the formal training and a lot of experience doing this. Mm-hmm. But he obviously knows music, and that's great. And I think with a little bit of work and opportunities for mentorships, he's going to be there. What struck me again was I think I look at it as, you know, from the film side, of course. So I also look at it from the audience. And I think it's really important to always respect the audience as a group. So when you think of a group, in some ways you don't play to the top or to the bottom, you play to the middle. And so in playing to the middle, I think that a certain amount of this would be lost on the audience because there wasn't those, again, that sustaining at a certain point or whatever, that you had in the last particular scene. Although, again, I think he did a great job. I think the music itself is awesome. And I was just not thrilled with the first 10 bars, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure. Gosh, such incredible critiques tonight, guys. Thank you so much. Let's make sure to get our votes in for this round. For Kirk, we're going to text A to 22333. And for Elijah on this round, you want to text B to 22333. Just amazing job on both ends tonight, guys. Elijah, Kirk, you guys are incredible. Our judges tonight, thank you so much. We have a deliberation process. We got stuff to do, okay? So I'm going to send you guys off to the judges' corner to deliberate. So thank you so much. Love you to the moon. And now we want to talk about our sponsors. So let's kick it to the Tennessee Entertainment Commission. Oh, man. And you better go to that website, everybody, because createtn.com. That's where it's at. That's where the action happens. What's up, Gisela?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. It's just an honor that we're able to be a sponsor. And you're doing a wonderful job, by the way.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of Governor Lee and Executive Director Bob Raines, the Tennessee Entertainment Commission is proud to be a sponsor of the MMB Mixer Competition. Woo! It's been a pleasure to watch this all come together and to work with Angela Green on location Memphis and the judges and the filmmaker and the musicians. Just thank you so much. I wanted to just share a few movies that were scored in Tennessee. Did you know that the Oscar-nominated movie Harriet was scored here?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, Netflix series Lost in Space Series 2 was scored in Tennessee. From Memphis, we have some composers. Good Lord Bird, based on the award-winning book by James McBride for Showtime. The composer is Rick Clark from Memphis. We have Craig Brewer's Dolomite Is My Name and Hustle and Flow. The composer is Scott Bomar. I'm trying to move this along. David Porter, who wrote Get Jiggy With It for Will Smith. He was the music consultant on the HBO series Quarry. We have some video games that were scored in Tennessee: Star Wars, Call of Duty, FIFA, and Madden. And so right now, Elijah and Kirk, you're participating in the MMB Mixer competition. Tennessee will be watching to see what you will score next. Congratulations on getting this far. Best of luck.
Thank you so much, Gisela Moore from Tennessee Entertainment Commission, everybody. Heck yes. I just want to say that the Tennessee Entertainment Commission is one of the most incredible advocates for arts in Tennessee. So hop on their mailing list because they're talking about bills getting passed. They're talking about support. There's always talk about ScoreCom, FilmCom, ScriptCom, ActorCom. We're making some serious, incredible art in Tennessee, and Tennessee Entertainment Commission wants you to know about it and wants to champion those of us who are doing it. So of course, our other organization we're involved with is Memphis Music Bank with On Location Memphis. Let's kick that off. Excellent, excellent. So Memphis Music Bank. So if you want to become a part of Memphis Music Bank, go online to On Location Memphis and get into that music bank. If you're a music maker, if you're a filmmaker looking to license music and actually fit your budget, get on there. Now we are looking for contestants and filmmakers for the next Memphis Music Bank mixer. We're looking for filmmakers in Tennessee. And so if you're interested in getting your clips up here for people to score, email Christie at onlocationmemphis.org. We also, of course, need composers to score these film clips. So for that, if you are a composer, hit up Margaret at onlocationmemphis.org. On Location Memphis, kicking butt and getting everybody together to make sure we have a nice family of music makers and filmmakers here in Tennessee. Our next Memphis Music Mixer is on October 20th, hosted by Christie Taylor. We have Rowdy and Raid. We have our judges. It's going to be a good time, so definitely tune in for that. I know I will be. So, holy bananas, it's time to announce our audience choice for tonight's competition. So, drum roll. It's a freaking tie. It's a tie. Are you serious? How much do you love this right now? This is so amazing. I love it. Okay, so I guess it's time to bring back our judges. Let's get them out of the virtual conference room in here. Hi, guys. Are you okay? Did you fight?
Hey, yeah. Oh, we did. We were throwing things at each other, which is hard when
That's
there's
hard.
a screen.
Well, I just want to let you guys know that the
My
audience,
screen throwing a tomato.
that is difficult through online life. I wanted to let you guys know that the Audience Choice Award was a tie. So congratulations to Kirk and Elijah for a tie.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Heck yeah. So what happened in the deliberation process? What's going on?
I think we're still slightly in the deliberation process. It's
Oh,
close.
yeah?
There were wonderful elements with both of the composers. Very close.
So have you come to an agreement, or do you need more time?
I am.
I think we're ready. Did you get my last text?
Let me see here if I did.
Let's get our composers up and let's talk to them about how they're feeling right now. Are you guys freaking out right now? You guys both just tied the Audience Choice Award for Memphis Music Bank Mixer.
Sweet.
What? Guys, this is huge prestige. This is a big deal. They love you both so much.
It was really cool to hear people's reactions to the music, and just like the feedback was incredible, and just like hearing the perspective of someone who composes for a living and then someone who is kind of overseeing music direction, and just hearing all of that was great. It was awesome.
Elijah, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, the whole experience itself was just kind of eye-opening. The funny thing was, a lot of the comments that they were making, I actually was thinking, like, as I was composing for it, I was like, you know, I guess in my mind, I was just like, how do I add those little elements that here and there? And like I said, I enjoyed the whole process, but it's definitely, I took some notes while they were giving the comments, but it's definitely some really good takeaways for future film scoring. So, you know, I've downloaded some clips off of YouTube to try to score to. So I'll definitely take all those comments and for more practice. So.
That is such terrific practice. What a terrific idea. All you composers out there, you want to get going. Don't wait for a filmmaker. Just make it up. Grab something. Yep. I love that. What do you think was like the hardest? What was your favorite part about doing these pieces, and what was the hardest part, do you think?
Me or Kirk? Me?
Anybody.
I'll go ahead. I think the hardest part was because the kind of the sequence of each scene was kind of similar, but they were all like individual shorts, but it was also one big story. It was like, what's going to be the theme, and how do I keep it fresh but also consistent. And there wasn't an overarching story, but it was like 4 little shorts, like 4 little mini rom-coms kind of thing. It was like just trying to make it cohesive and tell the story, but also have each thing stand on its own. That was the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
What was your biggest challenge, Elijah?
I mean, honestly, the whole task was just very daunting. I was just like, oh my God, I was freaking out. But, I think it was just the initial approach to the actual scoring, I guess, was my biggest thing. Because usually, so I normally write a lot just instrumentals by themselves. And so normally the instrumentals kind of, as you notice, they just build and they kind of flow through their own story. So to actually write music to flow to a different story than my own story was, I think, the biggest challenge. But it's definitely something I want to continue to work on. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and I definitely will compete again. Maybe maybe next year I can have a rematch with Kirk.
Ooh, I love that. Hey, I also just want to put a shout out to Rowdy, who actually produced the MMB commercial. I love that thing. Anytime that thing plays, I'm just like, ooh, I get all goosebumpy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Kirk, you did the commercial music?
The second one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Heck yes. I just love how much of a family you guys are. Look at you guys, taking from each other, learning, spreading it. I love it.
It's been awesome.
Yeah. So so you're going to take, Elijah, you're going to take this next step and you're going to take all this feedback and you're going to put that into some kind of YouTube clip you're just going to rip and start scoring to?
Yeah, so there are a lot of films that they don't put a lot of music to. Like, for example, what is it? The one with Tom Hanks, Castaway?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of scenes that they have no music to. And
Brilliant.
So you can add scenes to that. And then No Country for Old Men is another good one where there's almost no music to most of the movie.
Yeah.
And you can kind of add music to it. So I've downloaded a bunch of those clips. I'm not breaking any copyright infringement, so don't send the feds after me. But it's all staying on my computer. So
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
so
excellent job tonight, guys. I'm so excited to see where you both go, and I can't wait to hear what's next. And it was really thrilling to watch these clips tonight. I'm so proud of you, no matter what, because you both won the Audience Choice Award, but you're really both winners in my heart anyway. So let's bring on the judges and see what they have to say. All right, so we're going to have Shay and Nan back up, and we're going to see what they have deliberated on. Hi, guys. All right, so you had to take some extra time because it was so tough. They're both so beautifully competitive tonight. It's so exciting. What did you come to? Where are we at?
Again, extremely close on this. We went back and forth on a few of the different areas. Here, don't you love how I'm stretching this out and just building some tension? Who won it? Who won? No, again, very close, but overall, we went with Kirk. It was he was slightly above on that. Elijah knocked it out of the park with the round. I think it was round 3.
Yes.
And I love that. Love that. I believe that was the round that he was actually a little bit higher on the scores there, but on the others very close. But overall, if I were in ranking it, we are going to award Kirk tonight.
All right. Wow. Congratulations, Kirk. Let's bring him up on the screen. Hi, baby. You won.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Man, thank you so much. It was super fun to do this whole contest and just to be with you guys and to hear your words and get your experience has been awesome. So just thank you for hanging out and listening.
Heck yes. Let's see if our audience has any questions for you, Kirk. Let's see if we can get people to get curious about what you did and how. And Let's hear what they had to say. Rematch. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dr. Kirk. They're calling you Dr. Kirk. I love it. Yeah, let's see some questions.
I think one thing while those are coming in, just to kind of tell you guys a little bit about how I even was doing it, I honestly I would pull in the slides and just kind of listen and bob my head and just listen and bob my head. And there's no metronome or no anything going. I'm just trying to get on track with the pace of the scene. And then I just put that number in my little metronome, and then I kind of start building from there. And the filmmaker did I think they, filmmakers have their own pacing when they do their edits. And so a lot of times I just got lucky that my pacing was pretty close to his cuts. And so it kind of made the transitions fairly easy sometimes. And then I just tweak the tempos when I needed to.
Very cool. That is amazing. Yeah, actually, and if you ever work with Kirk, anybody is ever in a room while Kirk is producing, the head bob is real. That thing is real.
Yeah, the head bob is king.
It's the truth. It's the truth beat. It's what it is. It's a universal beat. So as long as you're bobbing with Kirk, you guys are probably going to make the same song. Sometimes you can get an artist in a room and you can get a producer in a room and they are not making the same song. That bob is how you get on the same page. Yep, he's got it. I love that that's your process. What a beautiful organic process. That's awesome. Yeah, okay, so On Location Memphis wants to know how you decided on the music. So you have the head bob, but how did the textures
so the texture was like, partly was just stuff that I'm into. So I really like, I like lo-fi, hip hop, jazzy type things. And when I started seeing the scenes, I was like, well, it's not dramatic. It's very light-hearted. He's walking, he's running in that one scene, but he's kind of just walking. So that was giving the tempo. And then it's lighthearted. So I was like, well, let me do lighthearted jazz type things. And that's how I kind of got the overall texture. And then I think it was the last number 4, I started doing the scatty do, like just kind of to fill in because there was no dialogue. And so I was like, well, I can probably sneak in a little vocal thing, which brought it into like the lo-fi hip hop, silent film rom-com genre. And so like the vocal thing then became another part. So I went back to the other ones and started texturing in that to try to make them coherent. So once I got the pacing and then I kind of knew where my hits were for the emotional changes, I was like, okay, I can do a thing here and do a thing here. And then the theme started coming once I got little vocal things to try to tie it all together.
And so we got a question here. Is there a specific genre that you like to lean towards the most? Lo-fi.
I really like lo-fi hip hop, but I really like ambient music that's kind of not like uplifting ambient music or cinematic compositional ambient music. So that a little more dramatic, a little more over the mountains and, love at first sight type things. But like, so this had more of the rom-com. So I was like, okay, I can do some more hip hop type stuff on this one. So yeah.
I love that. So we just got a comment from Steven Simmons, and he said, that's how I passed his classes.
Yeah, it's one of my students.
I learned the head bob.
Thank you, Steven. The head bob is king, man. If you make the head bob, that's you win.
You're in the mix. So let's get a couple questions to our judges real quick. Shay, On Location's asking, how did you break into the industry? You do this literally all the time, what Kirk and Elijah just did. You're doing that for a living. Talk to us.
It's been a long journey. When I first, before I moved here to Nashville, I was actually a composer with a print music company where I scored everything out by hand, and I did music predominantly that was played by wind ensembles at universities and schools and things such as that. But when I moved to Nashville, I got into the commercial music industry, and I actually formed a band and traveled for a number of years and was an artist in an acoustic pop band that was signed to an imprint Sony. And after our deal came to a close, I was on the road in a country band. It's really interesting because I grew up studying classical music and jazz. But when I got here, I switched to doing pop music and country music. But when I was in the country duo that I was in about 15 years ago, I had written a song that was a big football song, and it wound up getting picked up and used on Fox Sports and ESPN. And when I started seeing the royalties that were coming into me off of that, I thought, why the heck am I chasing this route over here in the music industry, trying to write songs for these albums when I can be focusing on TV and film music, which was bringing in a lot more for me. And so I got to exploring really from the standpoint of getting songs placed on television shows, but that morphed because once I got to know the music supervisors, they found out that I had this whole background of scoring music and that I was multi-instrumentalist who played piano, guitar, upright bass, brass instruments. I was a brass major in college, that they started having me do underscore for scenes, scoring certain scenes, and also at the same time using songs that I was writing. So it was a very good match for me. Some of the first early placements I had was at Nickelodeon, and a music supervisor that I was working with there went over to the show. This was over a decade ago, The Young and the Restless, which is primarily the show that I write for every day. I do about the company that I write for does about a third of the music for that show, and I'm their top composer. So we provide about a third of the music for The Young and the Restless, and I do everything from the background music to the actual songs that they use on that show. But I also have a lot of supervisors that I've just gotten to know that come to me with a request, and they'll say, "Hey Shay, here's what we're shooting." Sometimes it's, "Can you just write this?" Sometimes it's, "I'm sending you the clip. I want you to visually match this up and do it." So that's the long and the short of it.
Yeah. So it sounds like
that the phone's still ringing every day, and I love it from the standpoint that I never know what I'm doing. I mean, I could literally be doing music for the Travel Channel where it's, "Hey, we need kalimba, Belize sounding music with a hip hop bed underneath it, and this is what you're doing today." The next day, Celtic music.
What I'm hearing you say is that being multidisciplinary in terms of instrumentation is a gift and like an asset. And I'm hearing relationships. So I really dig that as a takeaway for our composers tonight. And we have a question to Nan, putting you on the spot, babe. Have you identified composers for your projects in production?
Well, that's an interesting thing. As an independent filmmaker and within my roles with International Women in Film and so forth, I have worked often. I'm a big believer in barter. So I have traded out certain services of mine as covering scripts and different things like that to get the music that I needed. Doesn't mean that I don't still look and find things that are really interesting, and I put it in my back pocket and I say, someday, I'm sitting here thinking, Shay Watson, Kirk, Eli P, on my list of my back pocket for that day when the manna comes down and rains on me. I would love to be using this because I grew up on original music. I just want to say that the people, the TV show that I worked for 5 million years ago, just after the dinosaurs left the earth, it was called Grizzly Adams. And we used—
I remember that.
There you go.
Yeah.
On late night TV reruns, but I was in the original. So what we did was one of my jobs was flying out to LA and sitting there waiting for the composers to finish the music that I would then fly back to set. And it was so amazing watching these people watch the film and create. And what they did first, there was no dialogue, no nothing. They watched the scene and created to that silent stuff. So there was a question that just said, what would you suggest to scorers? And that is watch a lot of film silently and create that.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, so here's a question from Adrian Williams. To Kirk or either judge, if you had the opportunity to compose a particular scene in an Oscar-awarded movie, what movie and which scene would that be?
It's for Kirk. No, that's for Kirk. I mean, that's for Shay.
So Elijah said Castaway. Elijah said Castaway, which is a brilliant idea, I think.
Yeah.
What would you guys do?
Gosh, I don't know. That's a tough question there.
I think I don't know if this answers that question, but Interstellar is just one of my all-time favorite scores. And like to be able, because they get inside the lead character's head and you just feel what he's feeling, and like the way they did the sound design and the whole arc of it, to be able to get inside a character's head on a story like that with his daughter and saving the world, and like it's just like I would love to be able to score a scene where there's that much, drama of like he's literally saving the world and leaving his daughter, and the tension, and, like, all that's like, So
that's beautiful. This has been such a rich experience. Thank you everyone for being here. Holy bananas. We just did it. September 22nd, Memphis Music Bank Mixer competition. We have our judges here, Shay Watson, Nan Puetz. Then we've got Kirk and Elijah. Let's bring Elijah back up on the screen and say thank you so much to everybody here tonight. Thank you to our audience. Thank you to Angela Green and Christie Taylor at On Location Memphis. Thank you to the Tennessee Entertainment Commission and all of our participants here tonight. I do want to let you know that the next competition is October 20th, so you got to be here for that. I know I will be. I'm blown away by the amount of talent tonight. Thank you to the moon, everybody. And let's do it again in a month, right? Thank you so much. Let's run them credits. Bye!